What if I told you that most internal platforms fail not because of bad technology or lack of resources, but because of these three fundamental product management mistakes that are completely avoidable? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Teresa and I'm a product leader based in Melbourne, Australia. And on this channel, we unpack actionable strategies and practical tools to continuously grow in our career. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to this channel. Now, before we jump in, let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're part of a team that just spent 6 months building what you think is an amazing internal platform. You've got clean APIs, solid documentation, and you're convinced that this is going to revolutionize how your company builds software. But 3 months after launch, usage is completely zero. Developers are still using their old workflows. And leadership now is questioning the tough questions about return on investment with this team. Sound familiar? Unfortunately, this scenario plays out in companies around the world every single day. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. The patterns of failure are predictable, which means they're also preventable. Today, we're going to explore the 3 biggest reasons why platform product management fails, and more importantly, I'm going to give you strategies that has worked for my platform teams and other leaders that I've spoken to. So reason number 1, not understanding who your customer really are. Now, the first and perhaps the most critical mistake I see platform product managers make is building for everyone and no one at the same time. Let me explain what I mean by this. When you're building an internal platform, it's tempting to think that your customers are the business or all developers in the company. This seems illogical on the surface, but is actually a recipe for disaster. Think about it this way. When Netflix decides what show to produce, they don't try to make content that appeals to every single person on the planet. They identify specific audience segments and create targeted content that deeply resonates with those groups. Now, the same principle applies to platform product management, but with a bit of an interesting twist. Unlike external products, where you might have millions of potential users, internal platforms typically serve a much smaller, more defined user group. This should make understanding your customer easier, not harder. Yet somehow, many platform teams still get this wrong. So here's what typically happens. A platform team receives a mandate from leadership to improve developer productivity or standardize your infrastructure. These are worthy goals, but they're not specific enough to guide product decisions. So the team starts building what they think developers need, often based on their own assumptions or the loudest voice in the room. The result? A platform that tries to solve every problem for every team, which ultimately solves no problem particularly well for anyone. So how do you avoid this trap? The solution starts with truly understanding your primary customers are and what problems they're actually trying to solve. First, you need to identify your primary customer segment. In most cases, this will be about 80% of your potential users. These are the people whose needs should drive your core product decisions. The other 20% are important too, but they shouldn't really dictate your main product direction. To identify this primary segment, start by mapping out all the teams and individuals who might use your platform. Look at their current workflows, the technologies they use, the problems they face, and the outcome they're trying to achieve. You're likely to find that most of them cluster around a few common patterns. Once you've identified your primary customers, The next step is to really understand their current pain points. Now, this means going beyond what they say they want and understand what they actually need. Survey them, but more importantly, spend time observing how they work today. What manual processes are they using? Where do they get stuck? What workarounds have they created for themselves? Finally, and this is crucial, understand what problems their customers are having. Remember, your platform users are trying to serve their own customers. Whether those are internal business stakeholders or external users, if you can help your platform users better serve their customers, you've created a compelling value proposition that goes beyond just making their lives easier. Number 2 is lack of clear purpose and direction. Now, the second major reason platform product management fails is what I call the purpose vacuum. When there is no clear roadmap, there's no clear metrics, and fundamentally no clear answer to the question, what problem are we trying to actually solve? Now, this might sound obvious, but you'll be surprised how many platform teams operate without a clear sense of purpose. They know they're supposed to build to infrastructure or tools for developers, but they can't articulate specifically what success looks like or how their work contributes to the broader business objectives. Let me help you understand why this happens and how to fix it. Platform work often exists in a strange middle ground within organizations. Unlike product teams, they build features for external customers. Platform teams build tools for internal users. Unlike infrastructure teams, they focus on keeping the systems running. Platform teams are trying to enable other teams to build better software faster. Now, this middle ground can create confusion about priorities or success metrics. Without clear purpose, platform teams often fall into feature factory modes. They keep building new features or capabilities without a coherent strategy, responding to every request that comes their way. So think about it like building a city without an urban planning. You might end up with lots of buildings, roads, and infrastructure. But if there's no master plan, you get a chaotic mess that doesn't serve anyone well. Citizens will struggle to navigate it, businesses won't know where to locate, and the whole system will just be inefficient. Now, the same thing happens with platform teams. Without a clear purpose and direction, you end up with a collection of tools and services that don't work well together, confuse users, and ultimately fail to deliver meaningful value. So how do you establish clear purpose? It starts with identifying what metrics your platform will contribute to. This isn't just about platform-specific metric like API response time or uptime. Like, those do matter too. But I'm talking about connecting your platform's success to broader business outcomes. Your platform should be focused on supporting specific organizational objectives. Maybe it's reducing time to market for new features, improving system reliability, enabling teams to scale more effectively or efficiently, or reducing operational costs. Whatever it is, you need to be explicit about how your platform contributes to these goals. So let me give you some examples of what good internal platform OKRs might look like. A deployment platform might have an objective like enable faster, more reliable software delivery with key results such as reduce average deployment time from 45 minutes to 10 minutes, achieve 99.9% deployment success rate, and increase deployment frequency across engineering teams by 200%. Now, a data platform might focus on democratized data access and insights, with key results like reduced time to create new dashboards from 2 weeks to 2 days, and increase self-service data queries by 300%, and achieve 95% data refreshness SLA across all critical datasets. Notice how these OKRs connect platform capabilities to business outcomes. They're not just about building features, they're about enabling specific improvements in how the organization operates. But here's the key insight. Your platform's purpose should always be defined in terms of value it creates for your users and through them for the broader organization. It's not enough to say we provide infrastructure or we make developers' life easier. We need to be specific about what problems you're solving and how you measure success. This clarity of purpose serves multiple functions. First, it helps you make better product decisions. When you're faced with competing priorities or feature requests, you can evaluate them against your core purpose. Second, it helps you communicate value to stakeholders and secure continued investment. Now, third, it gives your team a sense of mission and direction that goes beyond just shipping code. The last reason is the lack of internal evangelism and adoption strategy. Now, this is a critical failure point in platform product management. Is what I call the build it and they will come fallacy. Many platform teams focus intensively on building great technology but give little thought about how they will actually drive awareness and adoption of their services internally. This is particularly challenging because internal platforms face a very unique adoption problem. Unlike external products, where users actively seek out solutions to their problems, internal platform users often have existing workflows that are just good enough. They might not even know your platform exists, or if they do, they might not understand how it could help them. Let me paint a picture of how this typically plays out. A platform team spends months building an elegant solution to a real problem. They launch it with an email announcement, maybe a brief demo in an all-hands meeting, and then they wait for adoption to take off. Weeks pass and usage remains low. The team starts to wonder if they built the wrong things or if there is something fundamentally wrong with their approach. But here's what's really happening. Your potential users are busy with people with their own priorities and deadlines. They're not actively looking for new tools to learn, especially if their current approach is kind of working, even if it's not optimal. Without a deliberate strategy to drive awareness, education, and adoption, even the best platform will struggle to get traction. Think about how successful consumer products drive adoption. They don't just build great features and hope people discover them. They invest heavily in marketing, user onboarding, community building, and ongoing engagement. Internal platforms need similar attention to adoption journey, just tailor for internal audiences. Now, the solution starts with building a comprehensive documentation and self-service portal that allow people to use your services without requiring direct support from your team. Now, this might seem like a purely technical consideration, but it's actually a crucial part of your adoption strategy. When someone discovers your platform, they should be able to understand what it does, how it helps them, and how to get started within the first few minutes of exploring your documentation. Your documents shouldn't just explain how your API works. They should explain why someone would want to use them and walk through complete end-to-end examples. But documentation alone isn't enough. You need to actively socialize your platform's new releases and capabilities. This means regular communication about updates, new features, and success stories. Think about creating a regular newsletter, hosting monthly demos, or maintaining active channels in your company's chat platform, where you share updates and answer questions. One of the most effective strategies I have seen is conducting regular roadshows where platform teams visit different engineering teams to understand how their services could be used and what benefits they could provide. This serves multiple purposes. It shows you care about understanding your user needs, it gives you opportunities to demonstrate value directly, and it builds personal relationships that can drive adoption. These roadshows shouldn't be sales pitches. They should be genuine conversation about challenges and opportunities. Come prepared to listen more than you talk. Ask questions like, what's the most frustrating part of your current deployment process? Or if you could wave a magic wand and eliminate one of the manual tasks from your workflow, what would it be? Another powerful approach is engaging developers to create a proof of concept using your APIs and services. Now consider running internal hackathons, providing credits or resources for experimentation, or creating innovation time specifically for teams to explore how they might use platform services. The key insight here is that adoption is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process that requires continuous attention and investment. Even after team starts using your platform, you need to continue supporting them, gathering feedback and demonstrating ongoing value. One practical way to think about this is to map out the complete user journey from awareness to expertise. What does someone need to know at each stage? What support do they need? What might cause them to abandon the adoption process? And how can you prevent that from happening? For example, the journey might look like this. Firstly, they need to become aware that your platform actually exists and understand what problem it solves. Then they need to see evidence that it's worth the investment to learn. Next, they need easy ways to get started and experiment. As they begin using it, they need support when they get stuck and clear paths to expand their usage. And finally, they need ways to share their success and potentially become advocates for platforms within their own network. Now, at each stages of this journey requires different types of support and communication. The team that gets this right treat internal evangelism as seriously as they treat the technical aspects of their platform development. Now, if you're working on internal platforms or thinking about platform product management as a career path, I hope this gives you a roadmap for avoiding the common pitfalls. The companies that get platform product management right don't just build better tools, they enable their entire engineering organization to move faster, build better software, and ultimately deliver more value to their customers. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. And if you have any other reasons for platform product management failures, I'd love to hear more from you in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.